everybody, it's the FarmSim guy here, hope you're all doing well. While I was on holiday and had a little bit of time to think, I had an idea for a series which I thought I wanted to give a go to before FS22 came out, and so here it is. I'll be really interested to see what you think about this, but this for me is, I think, the maximum challenge for FS19 that we've got at the moment, and probably the only time that we could really do this, because we've got so many mods out there to help us and support us at the moment to do this. But this is the ultra realistic FS19 challenge. Now I get it's not going to be true to life, but basically what we're going to do here is cut no corners, and we're going to try and play as realistically as we can. So some of the key elements of this are only in-cab driving, but we've added a load, and I mean a ton, of realism mods in. I'm going to list them all in the description, but there are so many. So let me just run through them as quickly as I can here to give you an idea for it. So we've got Real Mower, we've got Baler add-on, we've got less engine brake force, we've got manual attach, we've got indoor rain sound, we've got air compressor sound, we've got enhanced vehicle, we've got GPS, we've got rocky fields, we've got Proceed, we've got the community extension mod and unit convert, we've got classifieds, the manure system, precision farming, simple IC, real seed usage and realistic seeder, real dirt color and real dirt fix, realistic cab view, the def pack, fill type mass adjustment, vehicle maintenance, added realism for vehicles, combine experience, fruits adjustment, variable spray usage, less engine braking, slower refueling, straw harvest DLC, we've got Maize Plus, CCM and forage add-ons, we've got indoor cam first, placeable particles, and we're running seasons as well. We're also going to do this on Deniz Farm's Mercer County enhancement project map, which is obviously Mercer County is MRG's map, but Deniz Farms have done a brilliant job making this the most realistic, I think, dairy operation that you can get in FS19. So there we go. On top of that, we've got crop destruction, we've got weeds turned on, and we've got our pricing at the hardest level we can. Now we do have courseplay in there, because let's be honest, who works a farm these days without any farm help? So we will use courseplay for helpers. I think that's fair enough and not a problem. But I'm really excited to see what we can do here. But again, there's no shortcuts here. Like I said, things like manual attach we need to do. Things like loading seeders. We're going to do all of that with front loaders and big bags and lifting them using seed bag carriers and things like that. So there's no shortcuts here. We are going to try and play this as optimally as we can. Now, of course, I'm saying I'm going to drive in cab, but you know, there'll be cinematics when I'm out of the cab and things like that, just to make it interesting for you. But I'm not going to drive any third-person tractor while I'm doing work on the farm. So it's going to be interesting, and actually having to retrain myself. I had a little bit of a play while I've been setting up here on the map, and I actually think it's going to be really difficult because I've trained myself so much. I know keybinds off the top of my head for connecting things and stuff like that, and it's amazing how often I'm like going to hit a button and it's just not there, because you've got to get out of the cab, you've got to walk around to the back, and you've got to connect the implement by hand. So I'm really excited to see how we're going to get on with this. Of course, on top of that, there's all the additions to the map that Deniz Farms have put into this, you know, calves, powdered milk, and all the different feed types that we can utilise as well. So getting my head around that's going to be fun. But I kind of thought it would be interesting to see how we get on with this over the next, you know, few weeks and maybe months, and maybe this is our kind of swan song, if you will, before FS22 comes out. Obviously, we've got Ohio horsepower, we've got Bulls Gap still. I am playing still on Peace River, but I am finding quite a lot of challenges with that in terms of issues with the map and bugs that are a little bit frustrating. So we'll maybe come back to that and have a look at it, and I know a lot of you have enjoyed that so far. But this is going to be a little bit of focus for the next wee while, just to see how we get on and see what's available to us. So Okay, it is early spring. Let's have a quick look at the map. If you're not aware of Mercer County, it's another one of MRG's cracking maps. Standard size map. Mixture of field sizes here. Lots of new fruit types added as well. So we have alfalfa in here. Short season soybeans, rye, triticale and silage corn. So lots of options to choose from there in addition to the base game crops. We have this farm here. There we go, with field 17, 29 and this empty space here of grass at the moment. And we also own field 3 over here. Now, first things we need to do today, it's just stopped raining actually, which is great. Let me give you a little bit of a tour of the very simple equipment we've got at the moment. We haven't got much, but it's stuff I've not tended to use before. First and foremost, in here, we've got a lovely little 6 Series John Deere US version with jewels at the back and skinny tyres. Lovely model there. And we've got the Mandeco Storm cultivator. So that will be doing some tillage, I think probably straight off the bat for us. Over here, we've got ourselves just a front loader there. We've got a big bag carrier. That is the Polycount Taz version. Friend of the channel, so Polycount Taz. Let's see how we get on with this. And the 7530 John Deere, older model there. I do love the cab on this. I've always been a fan of the cab on this, so I've been looking forward to giving that a spin. And over here, in fact not over here, it's around the other side. Getting used to my farm as well. Obviously we're going to fill these sheds with animals as well, which I'm looking forward to. This is very much going to be a kind of dairy and arable operation, but a little bit of focus on the dairy. We've got this beauty. The 9320 with jewels on it. And this rather nice John Deere seeder, which I haven't used before, so I'm looking forward to using that. But like I said, we've got to be clever about how we do this because everything is manual attach. We can't use things like super strength, so things like big bags are going to have to be lifted up and emptied into the seeders. So, first things first though, looking at what we've got in these fields, I think everything is just about ready to be ploughed under. Everything's been harvested, so we've come in at the start of the season. Now if we jump into the seasons menu here, you can see that we can already dive in and start planting straight away, which is great. And pretty much everything available to us. Rye, triticale, silage corn and corn do come a few days later, as does soybeans. But things like wheat, barley, oats we can get in the ground straight away. I am going to do a little bit of probably rye and triticale up front, and then we're going to plant some corn later on, which we can use for whole crop silage as well. Thinking ahead to what I'm going to be able to do with my cows. But definitely a little bit of a journey of discovery here, so we'll see how we get on with that. So, first things first, I guess we better do some tillage, hadn't we? So let's jump in this this guy here. Like I said, everything manual. So I've got to do this the hard way. A little bit of a glitch there as you come in and out of the shed. This is where realistic cab view comes in handy. Holding shift down there so I can look over the back of the tractor. I've got it lined up enough to hook it up there, and there we go. Obviously because of this model there are no hydraulic hoses on there, so we get away with doing that way. So we've headed across the road from the farm into a field that had rye in it last time, and we are going to get the Mandeco unfolded. Again, there you go. The first thing I've noticed here, I don't have stop-go on the brakes, so every time I put the brake down it stops the tractor and I have to lift off and put my foot down again to move forward or in reverse. So first and foremost, the first thing I've spotted that's different to before. Right, now this is going to be hard. My alignment, I am not used to being misaligned in the cab, so I'm interested to see how many bits I'm going to miss with this. I'm going to judge where the edge of the Mandako is versus the edge of the field and take it from there. So let's give it a go. I think this is going to be as simple as drop this down, pull forward and see how we get on. Now, first episode, I am going to not try and do any cinematics, and we're going to concentrate on driving in cab and seeing how we get on. We might jump out and see how we've performed at the end of this. But I think this has got potential to be really, really good fun. And actually, I'm going to throw the gauntlet down to all of you lot. If you feel like giving this a go, and there'll be no cheating. But if you want to install this bunch of mods, and not necessarily this map if you don't want to, I just chose this map because it's one I've wanted to try for a while, but I wanted to do it properly. By all means give this a go and let's see how we all get on ultra realistic farming, or as ultra realistic farming as you can possibly do in FS19. And like I said just a little bit ago there, you can only really do this, you know, at this late stage, as and when we have all of these ultra realistic mods coming out, because, you know, I think with FS22 it's going to take a while for us to get some of these mods back. So in the meantime, we should take advantage of the fact that we've had so many brilliant mods delivered by the modders over the last 3 years and appreciate them. As I'm trying to do in this series, it's almost a little bit of a showcase for what can be done with FS19. Let's lower it down again. I think I've got my alignment. I'm using the light on the left hand side there as the edge of the field, and I think I'm getting the edge of the field. I may be going a little bit overlapped, but once we've done the edge... Oh, I should also mention that I've got rocky fields installed, so you heard that clunk then. I'm sure there's a rock in the field. Yes, there it is, over in the distance. So at some point we're going to have to go and collect those as well before we plant this. But for now, we'll get the job done. So as soon as I've done the headlands here, I'm going to roll round and put it on a little bit of a time lapse. We may use GPS as well, just to help us keep our lines straight once we've done the headlands. Because again, just driving in cab for me is a bit of an alien concept. Don't do it very often, and I know I get a lot of people requesting that I do it a little bit more, so there you go, I've answered that request as well. But for now I think this might be the opportunity for me to turn on GPS, so let's do that. And this will help us out. Obviously when I turn at the end, I can flip it 90 degrees as well. I'll also turn the volume up slightly to again make it a little bit authentic. But actually I'm quite impressed how neatly I've done this so far. But this just adds a whole nice panoramic sunroof as well. This adds a whole new level. I mean, even now this is different to anything I've done before. Really feels different already driving a cab. I'm actually liking the challenge. Like I said, I will list all the mods in the list, so you guys can download them. Majority are from the mod hub. There's 2 or 3 I think that aren't on the mod hub. And I'm running Classifieds, Maddie Fi's Classifieds mod, which is at the moment still being tested by Giants. So I'm kind of hoping that that'll be released soon. There we go. Just getting my line up. Look at that, I've managed to line that up perfectly. Let's turn this on. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of concentrating. There's a lot of thinking going on here. This just doesn't happen, you know? This just doesn't happen. Yes, I'll put all the mods into the description. You can download them all and you can take it from there. So I'd love to hear how you're getting on. I may even set up a channel in my Discord to see how people are progressing with this. But I think there's potential for this to be really fun. I heard another rock clink out then. I even have maintenance set up on this, so if I damage my vehicles too much, I'm going to have a problem. So let's lift that up. Now while I'm here, I'm going to run another headland at the bottom here. While I've got it on 90 degrees, there's the rock that was stuck underneath. I'm actually going to move that before I go too much further. Don't want that damaging my equipment. We'll come and get that in a little while. Could be sinking into the ground as well. That's the realistic vehicle settings. Got the wheel spin there as well. This is great. I am loving this. I'm not going to lie to you. And it's taken me a while to set this up, so this is legitimately my first time just getting my head around something. So there we go. Let's just do another headland. That means we can turn around. But I do wonder if I've got the right tyres on. Should be running fatter tyres, but seems to be pulling well, 8 miles an hour, so I'll keep going for now. Okay, as you can see here, we got our measurements slightly off when we did the auto width using the Mandako. I actually, now I've done it, I realise that you actually do have to, it's got it set at a certain distance for the width, and it's not quite right. It needs to be slightly smaller than that, so we need to go back and readjust that. A few rocks in the field as well. We're going to have to go and pick those up at some point, but we do need the weights on the front of this to help pull. So like I said, if I jump in here again, let's start it up. Turn the GPS on again. Okay, so we're going to reset the track now. We're going to do a new A point. Lower the implement down. I'm going to roll forward. It should be aligned nicely now. So just enough to get our A and B point in. So there we go. That's probably enough. Set our B point there. So we've got a track now. Now if I go just into here, an auto width at 31.7 feet. That probably needs to be down at around about 30.5-ish, something like that. Let's try that, shall we? We don't need any offset on it. So we should be good to go now. I'm going to save that. So there we go. I'll just call it track name. But if I turn this on now, it should solve our problem with having any gaps. So with that in mind, we're not going to bother going and getting those last little bits over there tidied up. Maybe we will at the end. But for now, we will push on and we'll get this field done. Just a few other things I want to do before the end of this episode. Okay, there we go. First field done. There's a few rocks in here, not too many, but there's some very big ones as well. And it's definitely just on the edge of struggling with the realistic vehicle mod on as well. You can feel the power drain when you crack this in. It's definitely digging into the ground a lot. It feels really authentic, I've got to say. Really liking it. So we're just... I said I was going to not touch these straggly bits, but I couldn't help it. You know what I'm like sometimes. So we'll get these done. And then there's a few other things we want to do. One of the things is precision farming. I'd like to uncover the soil in the fields. Not an issue now because we were just cultivating this field, but I do think doing that manually is something we want to do as well. I could uncover all the fields and we see all of that, but actually we've got the tool, we've got the class tool. Probably a job for a worker though. I don't think we need to do that ourselves after just doing that field. And the other thing I'm going to do just now is uncover the fill up the cedar. I think we'll put some rye into this field again. And again, in further episodes, future episodes, we'll look at some of the special things in Dennis Farm's map enhancement project and what he's changed in here in terms of cattle feed and things like that, which is really, really interesting. But there you go. Realistic vehicle mod is digging that wheel into the ground, the weight of the implement digging into the ground there, so that's really, really nice. But there you go, there's our first field done, just as an example. It's a cracking little tractor, this. So let's run this back to the yard and we'll park it up. It's going to come in handy in the next few fields as well, so we'll keep it nearby. But there's the crop sensor. We'll send another vehicle off into the field to do that. Probably the other John Deere that's parked in this shed here. And in the meantime, if I just turn the engine off here, we will then hook up. There we go, unhitched. We'll maybe hook up the bag lifter to this while this is running in the field because it's got the front hitch on it. So let's get the crop sensor on this. It's very quiet in this cab. Nice sunroof open as well. But let's pick this up. In an ideal world, I have a trailer or something, or I would run this class sensor on the back, and maybe we'll do that in the future. Run the class sensor on the back, and we will. There we go. Maybe run a trailer or something with it, or a bucket on the front, even. And we could pick up rocks in the field. But for now, just to get this started, just first episode and all of that, we'll start doing it this way. Now I am going to put this on courseplay. Like I said, this is a helper job, not something we need to do again, but nice to have as an option. There we go. Unfolded, and we'll get this guy going. Let's fire up this bad boy. We're lined up pretty nicely actually, so somewhere about there looks pretty good. Get things attached. Now what's nice about this one, there we go, one, but in this one we get to attach the hoses as well, so that's quite nice. I'll turn GPS on just because it stops the sensor going. Turn the lines off just until we're in the field. But we'll pull this out somewhere a little bit more accessible, just alongside the shed here, and we will go, in fact, what we're going to do, let's run it over here because I can see the big bag that we need to use to fill the cedar, so we might as well do it over here. So we'll just roll it into the shed like so, and we can run straight into the field and start planting. Turn the engine off. We'll go and get, in fact, can I fill this when it's switched off? Yes, I can. Let's just open that lid because we want to get the big bag in there. So we already unhooked this. And there we can see the big bag lifter. Now, interestingly, if I got weights, I have got weights on the front of this, so I'll have to use it at the back. That's okay. Little glitch when you roll into the sheds there. That's okay. There we go. I'm not sure how close I need to be, or how accurate I need to be. Looks like it's alright. There we go. That's done. Little simple IC thing here as well, to put little wings on the notches there to stop it coming off, and I want to press Z. Has it even worked? To connect the hoses. What I might do is lower it. Check the hoses are connected. No, they weren't. There we go. Connected now. Couldn't see them there. So we'll lift it up. Okay, let's go and get that big bag. I've left the traffic on as well, again. The most realistic farm sim series we could possibly try and do. Let's lower this down. Now even this, I need to connect manually. There we go. And there it is, hooked on and swinging away. Okay, just a little bit more realignment here. There we go, it's just missing. There we go, we've got it now. There we go, filling up the tank nicely. And that bag is done. So let's check and see how full the seeder is. We may need to get some more bags. I don't have any yet, so we'll have to go and collect some. We'll just jump in the seeder here, or the tractor, and check. Okay, so 36% full, so we could take almost another 2 bags. So we will go and get some more bags for the start of the next episode and get this sorted. But as you can see how we're doing things now, we are doing everything as you would really on a normal farm. There is no shortcuts, there's no press a button to fill a seeder up. We're going to have to do everything by hand and manually, which is the way I want to do it. You know, we're going to use the mods that are available to us to try and do the most realistic gameplay of a series ever. So we're going to really expand on this in the next few episodes. Try lots of different stuff. I mean, there's so many good mods here available to us. So from that perspective, I think there's lots and lots of potential here, and I'll kind of talk through some of these realistic mods as and when we're using them as well. But again, even things like driving in cab for everything gives us that extra level of challenge and approach to doing things. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So from me for now, the Farm Sim guy, I hope you like the idea. Really interested to see how this pans out. I think we've got a really interesting map to do it on. Tyson's done a brilliant job with this map to really bring the authenticity to it in terms of how we're going to look after the animals. But equally, every single modder that's created a mod to make FS more realistic deserves a shout out. There's too many to name here, but like I said, check the description below, because there's a lot of people who have spent a lot of time coming up with these fantastic mods for our enjoyment. So for now, from me, the Farm Sim guy, thank you very, very much for watching. I hope you enjoy this series. It's our final swan song before we see FS22, I think. So, I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.